What's happening? It's Thursday. I am Charlie, aka Geeky Guy Comics. It's been a while, but the boys are back in town. Lads, what's happening?
I am so glad to be back. I got my notification on my phone and I almost had a little tear in my eye when I seen that we went live. We are back. I have missed this. I've missed you guys and I've missed the chat. So I'm really looking forward to tonight. What about yourself, Tom?
Oh, mate, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit of wheeze coming out. I'm so excited. I literally, like, just before I came on here with you guys, I was just doing a webinar for some work, and I was literally like watching the clock, like, come on, stop talking, let me get out of here.
Brilliant.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Like, obviously, as I said, some people think we weren't coming back. Some people think we was on a break. When we've been doing the show for as long as we've been doing it, it's coming up to nearly 2.5 years now. Like every single Thursday, as anything you do, it takes its toll. We just literally just had to take a step back, reevaluate everything, what we was giving the public and what we was putting out and stuff. And we're back bigger than ever. Like we're back. That's all I can say. We're fucking back, and it's gonna be a good show. Like we've got some new content. We've got some. I'm just buzzing. Like you can probably tell, I'm grinning like the bloody Cheshire Cat. So I'm absolutely buzzing. We're back. We've got some new content. We've got some fresh content. We've got some old content. We've got everything you could want from
some old content.
Content, yes. But we've got everything you could want from a comic show on a Thursday. So it's going to be good. Like, I'm looking forward to it. We've got like a new running order. We've got like fresh stuff to do. So should we get straight into it? Does anyone want to talk about anything first, or should we just get bang straight into it?
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. As I mentioned.
Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, you're on mute, Charlie.
See what I mean? Some things never change, right? As I mentioned, we're back. We've got some new content. We've got some fresh content. But the content that's staying is where the business end. This is it. Killer covers for week number 23, which was yesterday, the 7th of June. It's going to be a good one, boys.
There was a rumor. There was a rumor floating about the social medias that this was the reason why we stopped. That things got too heated, and that the competition got far too much.
Wow.
And Charlie threw his dummy at the pram because he only had 1 or 2 killer covers. Tom, am I right?
Well, I had heard that rumor, and I just want to put it out there that neither of us have got black eyes, so we're all good. You know, it's all happy. You know, no bombs have been sent through the post.
No, basically, Charlie needed a couple of weeks just to redefine himself, get a grip, and pick some decent covers. So this is pretty much a big test.
My theory is that we stopped so Charlie, we could get a couple of weeks ahead, and Charlie could find a cover that would win, and now we're back.
Yeah. Do you know what? Right, before I throw my dummies out the pram again, I just want to give a massive shout out to the chat. Right, it's buzzing, and we do this show. The show's nothing without you guys in the chat. So massive shout out. We've got Richard Howlett, who's here. Massive kudos to you joining. Thank you very much, mate. We had Fuzzy Dunlop that was in yesterday, just waiting around for 12 hours. We've got ABC. We've got ABC Comics. We've got Phil's Treehouse. We've got Chris Bell, still loving his semi. Fuzzy Dunlop's back. I'm primed, ready and waiting to be satisfied. Jump on, baby. I'm not sure if he's shouting that out loud to his missus or he's just typed that in by accident to his text. But yes, we're here to satisfy your every comical need. Sonic's Comics, welcome. And peering just over the fence is Panels and a Half Pint. Welcome, Sean. Thank you very much for this. Yes, new phone. Who is this? Who this? There we go. Batdan Dixon. We've got Liam Redstar, one and only. And that is about it. Unless, of course, how could I forget Mr. Edvic? Hello, all. Welcome back, boys. Just eating out some dinner, but I'm very excited to catch up on the rewind when I'm back. There we go.
And I'm back.
We've got Yuko Demands Troops. Everyone, evening, everyone. Welcome back, Killer Comics crew. Let's fucking go. It's going to be a good one. And we've got the big man himself. We've got Perry Comics, aka Perry Gaming, new channel. Thank you very much, sir, for joining. So this is it. As I mentioned, this is the killer covers for June 7th. Now, you know what? The rules apply. We pick a comic each week and we put it to the community vote poll in the chat on YouTube. And at the end of the show, I'll either go off in a huff and won't be back for another 5 or 6 weeks, or the show will go smoothly and we will be back next week. Up first,
ladies and gents, I went for a little bit of Scotty Young. Who doesn't love a bit of Scotty Young? This is by Marvel, obviously, and this is Deadpool Badder Blood issue number 1. I love Scotty Young's work. I've been collecting it from way back when he started. I know that everybody else loves a little bit of Scotty Young. So I put 2 and 2 together and I thought, you know what? This almost felt like a little bit like a safe bet. But look at that cover, guys. Look, some would say a safe bet, but look at that cover. I just think it just speaks to me. The action, the color work, and a little baby Deadpool. What else? What more do you need, guys? And I know there's people in the chat. I know that Fuzzy Dunlop's been convinced by Chris Bell that he loves a little bit of Scotty Young. So, guys, this is my entry for the comeback show, Deadpool Bad of Blood, issue number 1.
Oh, you know how to play an audience, don't you? Because
You really
like,
do.
literally everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's amazing! It's Scotty Young. That's awesome!" You know, Andy wins this week. God, it's like a proper showman.
Listen, I thought about this. Like, I've had what 3 weeks off to think about this. So
True.
I was like, what was going to be my first pick? It was either going to be Jenny Ferguson, it was either going to be a Jock, or it was going to be a Scotty Young. So I went for Scotty Young. What do you guys think?
It's a good cover. I'd totally agree. It's a good cover. But do we really need another Scotty Young cover? I mean, how many covers can he do that all look the same? This is coming from a J. Scott Campbell fan before you start.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The answer to that, Tom, is yes. Yes, we can't have enough Scotty Young covers. Especially, you would think that they would get a little bit like samey, but he sort of reintroduces different things to all his covers. This one has obviously got the side view and it's got the action shot. Come on, guys.
I mean, I think it's a good cover, but I do think we've seen this before. It's not any different, but he does do a really good chibi Deadpool, let's be honest.
I've got to say this. I love it. The only thing is that I would want to get this graded at CGC because I think this looks great, and I would want to do that. But the only thing that would annoy me was that it would be facing up, not sideways.
So
that's the
question:
is
how would you hang? How would you hang it? That sounds a bit rude, but how
short,
would you
shriveled, and always
would you hang it like that, or would you? Like that?
I would hang it on the side, and then I would print my own 9.8 sticker, so that was facing the right way.
Fair.
But I love it. I do like a chim. I like Scotty Young does do good chimneys. Like he does. They're cute. They're adorable. They're really well done. So yeah, I really like this. I think it's a good cover. And I haven't read a Deadpool in ages, and this would get me back into it.
Am I right in thinking that Scotty Young was one of the first people to do I think he did the X Babies first.
Yes,
and then it went on to do like the chibi versions and stuff. Am I right in saying he's the first one that did it for Marvel? I know it was a big thing. It's a big Japanese thing, but is he the first one that did it for Marvel? I mean, if anyone in the chat knows, drop it in the chat in the comments. Because I think he did, but I'd like, it'd be nice to know. If anyone's on the old Google, can you find out for me, please?
Dan Dixon does know. He says, yes, you've seen it before. Your child's school drawings on the fridge.
Oh, yes, Dan.
Dan, I am deleting your contact out of my phone as we speak.
See you.
But his first content was, am I the only one who doesn't give a tossy for Scotty
Youngie?
You can't listen. You can't please everyone. And I notice Peter's in the house and he's saying that he's all Scotty Younged out. I don't trust what that guy says anymore because I've just watched his show that you should go and watch the Rewind After Our show where they're reviewing the Miles Morales movie, and he said that he didn't really enjoy it that much. It was too much, and I was like, oh come on.
We used to be friends, and now
still friends.
It's gone. We're still friends. But Phil Treehouse has said, who wins a fight, Scotty Young or Peach Momoko?
Or is that a fight for who's been overused by Marvel, or is that a fight of who's the best?
Guys, these are deep cuts. Quickly move on to the next one. Quick.
Whose cut is pulling the deepest? There we go. Look. Fuzzy done like Andy pulling out an Uno pickup and 4 cards straight away in week 1.
Yeah.
Let's park this. Move on to your generic female you've never seen before pick, lads.
Welcome back, everybody.
Boom. Wow.
So yes,
So he's obviously seen Charlie's pick then.
Yeah.
moving on. There we go, Tom. I swear you've picked this about 6 weeks in a row.
I have, because it keeps getting moved back. But we actually haven't had it on the show. So
No,
I think we had it when I'd said about it being a book worth picking up to read. So IDW are dropping the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter, which comes out this week. And I've gone for cover H, which is the incentive 1 in 500 cover by Green. And I just love this cover because of the fact that it's the shape of Shredder and Bison, and then you've got the characters within that shape. And I just like how gritty it looks, and it kind of goes with what I'd expect the story to be like. I'd expect the story to be quite gritty and about, martial arts and, they're fighting on the streets kind of thing. There are some really cool covers for this where they've got like the arcade machines and things. But I picked this one because it really stands out. Like I said, and I said every time we do this, if you see a cover on the shelf and it catches your eye and you instantly want to go over and pick the book up, then that's why I would pick it. And that's why I picked this one. Because I think if I saw this out of the crowd, especially like looking at all your Scott Youngs and your Peter Mokos and your J. Scott Campbells, if I saw this, I would probably go to this first out of all of those, despite being a fan of all 3 of those artists. I'd go to this first because I think, oh, what is that? Is that a die cut? I'd like to know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it would be really cool if it was a die cut. I don't think it is, though.
I read the story today, and I'm all in. I'm all in. I didn't buy any of these covers, so I'm gonna have to wait and see if there's any like left over on eBay and stuff like that. I loved it. This is probably I liked Power Rangers and the who did they cross over with? Power Rangers with the Turtles. The Power Rangers did the Turtles crossover. This for me, it smashes it out of the water. I absolutely love this, and this cover as well. It's the only thing is, it's going to be so costly. It's an amazing cover, but it's going to be so costly. In my opinion, I prefer the cover A you get. I think it just tells the whole story. Like it looks wicked, but this is a great cover, man. Like this is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Andy?
I love Sanford Green's artwork. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So that immediately drew me to this particular cover. It reminds me of like, do you remember like the stickers that you used to get and like the Star Wars packs? It kind of reminds me of that. I would have loved to have seen this as an incentive where the whole page was the actual inside of the picture and it wasn't cut off by the sort of silhouetted outline. But I can see them really like using this sort of quite a lot. They could do like Splinter and his outline and all that good stuff on it. Again, I'm exactly with Charlie. This is going to be so costly. It's a 1 in 500 to pick this up. So my advice for anybody who is looking to pick this up is just to hold fire, wait, because there's going to be lots and lots and lots of these produced. There's so many retailer incentives for this particular issue as well. So yeah, don't FOMO this book. I do like the book. But again, because it's been pushed back so many times, whenever I'd seen that Tom had put it up, I was like, wait a minute, have we not discussed this one before? It feels familiar.
I will. I do think I only heard this through the grapevine via Twitter and stuff. There are rumors that this bad boy might go on the front of the graphic novel.
Oh wow.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
So if you don't want to, pay the money for the 1 in 500, wait, because it might be on either the graphic novel or the hardcover.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool. But I think the thing is, as you said, Andy, for the Power Rangers and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they did the Turtles holding the mask and vice versa. I think for this, they're probably going to do the same thing. It'll probably be a character from the Turtles with the silhouette mixed in the Street Fighter as they've done here. So I think they'll probably do all that across the board.
What did we not? I'm sure we spoke about this before, and I'd said I wonder if this is actually a die cut cover.
Yeah.
I wonder if you sort of can lift it and you actually see the full cover behind it. If anybody knows, let us know.
Yeah.
If anyone's got one.
Well, let's be honest though. It's going to be better paper than the Marvel, so that's already a winner.
Can't be any worse.
Yep, there we go. So that's your pick, Tom, and then on to mine. Everyone's saying, yeah, I've probably gone with a Harley. No, I haven't. I've literally gone for Loki issue number 1, Art Germ 1 in 100 variant. As
She is a
always,
sexy lady.
It's very sexy. I'll tell you what, if that was the Loki, the God of Mischief, yeah, feel free to cause mischief wherever you like, darling. This is awesome. I really like this. I love this.
I feel, guys, I feel like I'm the only person who's picked a book that everybody can afford, first and foremost. So just throw that out there.
So you're going for obtainability. Me and Charlie
Exactly.
are going for premium.
Yeah, £2.95 from Slab Crusaders, and as opposed to these other two. So
see what I mean? So fresh, you barely ever see these female focus covers. See what I mean, Chris? I bring my focus to the masses. There you go. But what do you guys think of this?
Speaking of samey, so we spoke about Peach Momoko, Scotty Young, but Art Germ does a phenomenal cover, does a phenomenal female cover as well. But again, have we
just
seen,
all the same?
have we been Art Germed out? is the question. This one definitely caught my eye whenever we were looking through previews. And what I would have normally done, maybe a couple of years ago, I would have just bought this as a cover buy, and I wouldn't have read the comic. It would have sat in the box, and that's why I've got a short box full of Art Germ covers that I've absolutely no interest in anymore. So, just a word to warn, be careful whenever you're FOMOing over these. And God, it'd be an 80, maybe 90 quid book, I would imagine, at the minute. If it's a 1 in 100, I could be wrong. Somebody let me know. But
as long as you're only FOMOing over them, you should be all right.
Listen, you know me, I'm married.
Yeah, the feedback's been good. Like the feedback's been good. Yeah, I let Charlie Miles Clear, beautiful cover that. I'm subbing. You can all sod off. I'm with Charlie, easy win. And then there you go. Look, that die cut would look cool. So I think it's pretty balanced this week, if I'm honest. We're both getting negative and positive comments. So
yeah, I can't believe how wrong those two guys are, though. Sonics and Darn. I mean, it's almost like we've been away.
I know, it's always like we've been away. What are we back for? Why do we do this to ourselves? Anyway,
we put ourselves through this.
That's the 3 votes. Tom, if you wouldn't mind doing the honours and get these up.
It's up there, mate, or it should be.
All done. Yeah.
Oh, is that what that little poke was?
Yeah, wow. It's all up there, mate. Wait.
Right. So that's the business end out of the way. 3
after
covers.
You said that comment. Right.
You've got mine. You've got Tom's, and then you've got Andy's. So yes, we've all seen them before, because comics, they come back round. They come back round and round again, and everything gets done time and time again. But hey ho, we are here. Fantastic Comics. We're just going to get straight into it now. We've been away for a while. The last show we did was week number 16. So we've been away for 3 or 4 weeks now. So this is week 22 review, which came out last week. This is World Tree issue number 2, written by James Tynion. Now, there's I think there was like 14 covers out this week. I've picked 8 of them. We've got the main cover by Fernando Blanco. We've got the Carla Cohen Peg City Comics variant. We've got the Godtail SSCO exclusive variant. We've got a cover that everyone's seen from Something's Killing the Children. It's the 1 in 100 incentive by Weather Deledra. And we have the second printing by Joseph Schmalke variant cover, the Mel Milton Negative Space exclusive, the Romero Virgin exclusive variant, and obviously, again, another Something That's Killing the Children, homage the Anna Meccano exclusive variant cover. Which one of you gorgeous men would like to take this away first? Andy?
Yeah, Andy.
Okay. It seems like a long time since we read issue number 1. So that was my first hang up on this one. I know that we went for the option of just picking a book, and I went for this one. It seemed the easiest option for us to ease ourselves in. I can't remember a book, guys, where I have no idea what's going on. I'm so intrigued and wanting to read the next issue as much as I do this one. If we can remember how this finished off in the last one, I had to go and read issue number 1 again. So the guy gets killed after going and killing 50, 60 other people after seeing what we think is this world tree. which seems to infect their minds, and they go on a killing spree. And we still have the naked lady, and I'm after 2 issues in, and I still don't know what the purpose of the naked lady is. But
she's not been naked the entire time.
Listen, I'm not complaining. I don't get me wrong. Like, I'm quite happy for her to be there, but I don't know what impact she has on the plot. So that's a little bit confusing at this particular point. This felt a little bit slow to me, this issue. But I remembered that whenever I was reading up about World Tree, is that like James Tynion is talking about having 35 plus issues of this, so it's not going to be a short story. I think I'm just confused, guys. I don't know what was going on, but I'm so intrigued to keep going to find out, because I feel as if there's like, after the end of each issue, there's a beacon of light there that said, oh, right, okay, so we've got another plot device that we're going to need to bring together. Let me read issue number 3 and see where that goes. And I feel as if I'm going to keep doing that until the first arc's done, and then I might need to read it all together. So I don't know if this is one of those books that might just read a little bit better when you get the first arc all pulled together. What did you guys think?
Tom, do you want to go?
Do you want to take it, Charlie? I'm just redoing the vote because it wasn't working.
Oh, okay.
Jump in, mate.
So, Andy, I'm so with you on this. So, obviously, I'll be honest, since we haven't done the show in 2 or 3 weeks, I haven't really been reading any comics. I've been like focusing on stuff, and we've been like sorting out the show and stuff. So, for me to jump back into this was enjoyable, because for some reason, me reading the first one, it kind of stuck with me. And I kind of literally, as soon as I started reading this, I was like, right, I know exactly where we were. Issue 1 ended with this guy's brother being shot by the naked lady, and she just turns around and says, you can find us on the internet. So straight away it piqued my interest, because we're thrown into the setting of, there's these 2 FBI agents, they're out to search, they're out to find out what's actually happened, what this World Tree, but they seem to have some information about this. They seem to know that these killings are occurring. And for me, it kind of seemed like it was something is killing the children-esque, because it seems like these 2 coppers have been chasing her. They've been after her for like 3 or 4 months. They know that she's out there doing stuff. And there was a telling part in it where the brother who had done all the killing, who had literally gone door to door in issue 1, just shooting everyone, killing them, and how horrific it was. They capture his brother, and he's in the interview room, and one of the officers grabs hold of him and says, look, we've been after her for 6 months, and she's done some stuff, some horrific stuff. Can you help us? So for me, it was very much like they was trying to get Erica Slaughter. Do you know what? They was chasing tails to get to Erica Slaughter. But I've got to agree with you. I didn't have a clue what was going on throughout the pages. Like, all of a sudden, like this, she's here, she's looking for someone else. There's a girl who's trying to do like a realistic movie, and she's in the house where it's all happened. And then the next thing you know, this killer's appearing, and she can't see her. So is she an entity? Is she a figment of the internet? Is she really there? Is she not?
So many questions, and I think it's almost as if James Tynion, it's meant like this is on purpose, that he wants to create so many questions, because I think at some point there'll be a aha moment where we'll go, all right, okay, well, that makes sense. And what you'll probably need to do is go back and read issue 1 to 5 or 6 again, and you'll see all those little Easter eggs throughout the issues. I thought for me the artwork was stellar on this. I think Fernando Branco's work really ties in nicely with Tynion's writing. Jordi Belair, I don't think got the opportunity to shine as much in these books as she normally does, because I think the sort of the artwork and the colours are so sort of dark that the only sort of definition you get between different parts of the story is the overall hue across the page. So it's either green if they're in a particular place, or that it's blue to tell them how they want the reader to feel. So yeah, that I thought the artwork was stellar on this. I trust James Tynion. I think I've said this on many occasions whenever we're reading a Tynion book, that something will happen and it will all sort of make sense. But for me, I'm just a little bit confused at the minute.
I mean, do you know what I really liked about it is because, again, it's one of them comics that, for me, it was like somebody's killing the children, but then it was also like the last house on the lake, because it was confusing. But I was like, I really still want to read this. I really want to engage with it. And if this is going to be 35 issues, I think I'm going to stick with it for 35 issues.
I said that about a few other books over the last few months, and that's definitely not happened. Did any of you guys pick up on one of the words that was used, which I certainly won't repeat, but it certainly triggered me? It was in the first like 3 or 4 pages when they were talking about the sort of prostitution side of things, and there was a particular word that was used, and it's one of a handful of words that whenever you read it, it kind of like stops you in your tracks, and I just I don't know, it just made me just didn't feel right to read that in a comic. I obviously understand that this is like an adult book, very much so an adult book, given the naked lady that's walking about for 2 issues. But that was just something that kind of stuck with me. It just didn't feel right. I
think Pete said the same thing. He said, "Loved the oral story, but found elements very odd. The whole prostitution conversation for pages and pages was very strange." I've got to agree with you. There's some, obviously it is an adult book, and it is like touching taboo subjects, and it's James Tynan, and it's meant to be a horror book and stuff like that, and it's for the older reader. I'm just engaged in it. I think it's great, but I have to agree with you on that. Some like that word did stick out, and I was like, did they really say that? Like, really?
And anybody obviously that's not read it is not going to have a clue what we're talking about. But I would certainly suggest that if you haven't read this, go start now. Like, you've only got 2 issues. It is quite a lot to take in these issues. But it's certainly worth sitting down with a cup of coffee and just giving it a go, because I think if you got to like maybe the 3rd, 4th, 5th issue, you'd be completely lost, because you'd give up after 2 issues if I knew that I had another 3 issues to read. It's just because we've sort of kept up to it. So this would be a book I would like to sort of see where it goes and stick with it.
Just to let you know, people in the chat, we've just reset the votes because it wasn't working. There's something wrong with YouTube, and you can see the votes after it's finished, where normally you can see them on screen. So I've reset the vote. We're doing it again. So if you just want to place your votes, or you want to change them, because I've just seen how it was looking. So yeah, please feel free to change it. But yeah, give that a go.
Vended it twice, and both times I was winning. So I'm going to be really annoyed if I'm not winning now.
I need to redirect those bots.
But Tom, what did you think about this?
Yeah, sorry for my my absence. Yeah, basically, I am the same as Andy. I completely forgot how issue 1 ended, so I actually went back and just flicked through issue 1 quickly before this, and I had that whole thing like Andy said. It's like, I've never been so intrigued on a book by not knowing what the hell's going on / really want to know what's going on, but then no answers are given. I did feel like this one was, I wouldn't say it was filler, in my opinion, but it was a very big character building book. There was a lot of dialogue. There was a lot of setting up. There's a lot of kind of setting up the premise of whatever this computer thing, this computer virus is, and added extra characters and kind of going in depth into each character. So a lot of like character building. So I thought that was pretty good. Same sort of thing with the whole naked lady thing. Like, I'm not complaining or anything, but it's one of those things when you sat at night reading it next to your wife and she's like, what are you reading? Like, what is this? I mean, is it necessary? Probably not. It's okay though. Fair enough. I mean, it does what it does. The story overall, like you said, there was a few bits I was like, is this necessary? Do we need to go down that route? But I think I might want to read the next issue just because I'm intrigued to see where it goes. Is it one of those books that if we don't get it picked for the show that I would read? Probably not. But it's one of those ones where, say, we've read the first 2 issues, and then in a couple of months' time, someone's like, oh, I've read the whole lot. It's worth reading till the end. I'll pick up the graphic novel and read it. As a single issue, having to wait each month to read it, or however long it is you have to wait to read these books now, I don't know if I would stay on the bandwagon. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. It's a chore for me to go through these. I just noticed though that all the covers of Fear, I believe, is the character's name, the naked lady. They all have clothes on and on the covers. Have you noticed that? And Carla Cohen's cover for me is absolutely top draw, stunning.
Absolutely, yeah. Did she do one for issue 1 as well?
No, Not that I can remember.
No.
She may have done.
But it's ironic because the cover that she's done is very Harley Quinn-esque.
It is.
I was actually thinking about the Batman cover that was a Not Quite Mint
Yes.
exclusive.
Oh yeah,
Harley Quinn done.
Miracle Molly one.
Miracle Molly. That's it. Gave me those vibes whenever I seen that cover.
Thanks for the cheeky drop there, mate.
You're welcome.
So Not Quite Mint exclusive. That'd be me.
It's that one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I mean, like that's almost identical.
It is.
Really, give or take.
Yeah. But,
Some might say this one's better.
Well, and Sonic's actually, yeah, it's good. It's very cyberpunk. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it is very cyberpunk 2099.
So
yeah,
I mean, this bad boy out of 10. What are we going to give?
Overall, I'm going to for this issue, I'm going to have to give it an 8 because I think the writing was intriguing. It kept me on the edge of my on the edge of my feet. The drawing and the art was amazing, and the colouring. Geordie Belair, like she's she's amazing. She's so good at what she does, and I think them three have worked really well together on these 2 issues. I'm invested. I'm going to go for an 8.
Tom,
I think if we're scoring it overall, so we're taking into consideration the artwork, the colouring, and the story, then I'd probably go with a 7. But if we were talking about story alone, I'd probably give it a 5.
Okay.
So that's why I'm going for 7, because the artwork is stunning, the coloring's amazing, and the way the paneling is done and the lettering is superb. Just I think the story lets it down just because it's just too wordy for someone like myself, and it was really complex. However, I am intrigued, so that's why it got a 7, not any higher.
I was going to give it a 7, but I think I'm going to give it a 6 for this particular issue. I think I enjoyed issue number 1 more.
Yeah.
And this just felt a little bit of a drag for me. So again, I'm invested a bit like Charlie and yourself, Tom. I'm going to read issue number 3.
The ending was interesting, though, no? The ending was a pretty good cliffhanger.
But the endings are always interesting. The ending in issue 1 was interesting, and I think I need more than that to keep me buying the issues. So issue number 3 is going to be the decider for me whether or not this is one that I keep on.
Isn't that how the Nice House on the Lake was as well? That was very much like the story was really long-winded, and then suddenly you got to the end, and it's like, this is a cliffhanger for next episode, and then it didn't go anywhere. Hello, puppy.
Yeah. Well, so
say hello to everyone.
As we're talking about, there we go. Look, and sponsored by SausagedDogs.com, we have Rags.
Say hello, Rags.
Tom's just got his puppies out. Lovely.
Just got my wiener out live on the YouTube.
Why not? Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, Tom has got his wiener out.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, there's a wiener on the screen.
7 people have just left. Fantastic.
There we go. So as we're talking about like when the next issue and everything comes out and stuff, it leads us perfectly on to our new segment, which is Final Order Cutoff. This is for June the 12th, which is Monday. Now, this is a new segment, so a lot of you might be in the chat and you might be wondering, what is FOC? So basically, Final Order Cutoff is a final call for you to pre-order from your local comic supplier, whether it be online, comic supplier online, or your local comic shop, meaning the date the retailers must submit their final orders before publishers set their print runs. Now, myself, Andy, and Tom, we get our CGCs and our new pull list and everything from Slab Comics. Now, Slab Crusaders, they basically do fantastic stuff. So some of these slides that we're going to go through, the way that we've put them together, you can kind of look at them, you can go through, and it will direct you to Slab Crusaders. Now, it's for June the 12th, but Slab Crusaders orders must be placed with them by 9 p.m. on a Saturday. So 9 p.m. Saturday night is the cut-off point if you're buying any comics or getting anything done, CGC or anything by Slab Crusaders. You may still have time to order these comics, but stock levels do differ, and it might be quite difficult for you to get the comic that you want. Is that right, Andy? I think that's right, guys.
That's exactly right. I would imagine James at Slab Crusaders would order maybe a certain percentage over what has been physically ordered, and you may be able to pick one up there. But Final Order Cutoff, guys, is the surefire way for your LCS to get your book without you paying over the odds whenever it comes out and it's FOMO or there's some first appearance or whatever in it. And it also keeps the lights on for your LCS to keep them in business. So it's really important that you're paying attention to Final Order Cut-Off and you're picking up those books. Just as Charlie's mentioned there, like I used to be with Sub A Comic, and they've unfortunately went out of business. For me, I had an option whether I just stop all my subs or whether I move to someone else. And having bought CGCs from Slab Crusaders, and James is fairly local to where I am in Northern Ireland. I've made the decision to start buying my weekly raw books from Slab Crusaders. So that is the reason why we have sort of decided to try and, if there's anything that you see here, guys, is to push you over to Slab Crusaders, tell them that the Killer Comics Show sent you, and it's like $2.95 for a raw book. You know, if it's like, I think it's a $3.99 book is like $2.95, which is really, really fantastic. There's other retailers there, some really big retailers that charge probably a little bit less, but it's about quality, and you're getting a bag and a board with your comic, which is fantastic.
And that's
I'll reiterate what Andy said. Like, if you're not kind of back in your local comic shop, they do go. I mean, I did. So
yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough out there. Charlie, 7 ways to order. We pulled a bit of a slide. Obviously, if you're getting your raw books, then you can order up a brand new copy of the comic, and it will come bagged and bolded, as I said. You've also got the option if you want to make sure that you get, say, a runner book. So if you're picking up World Tree, but you want to make sure that you don't have to go and order it every single week, you can just subscribe to that. And what James will do is he'll send you an invoice before it's due for release. And once you've paid that, then he'll go ahead and order it up for you. There's also the Slab Crusade, which is how I get introduced to the Slab Crusaders. And that's where they offer that a guaranteed 9.8 CGC grade, or you get a 25% money back if it comes back at 9.6 or lower. And of all the slabs that I've ordered up, they've all come back 9.8. So says what it says.
Yeah, obviously you got the Ultimate Crusade, which is a 9.8 minimum CGC graded comic with the money back, and you get to keep the slab guaranteed. So I mean, 7 options. There's 7 ways there. James is working his arse off to make sure that there's no room for error. Obviously, it's out of his hands when it gets sent to CGC, because we know the stories that have come from CGC. We know there's problems with them and stuff like that. But I mean, 7 ways to order a comic. I only ever thought there was one. I thought it was get my raw, get my pull list, and send it off to CGC. I can't shout about Slab Crusaders anymore, because on this show we will only shout about people that we use, whether it's Slab Crusaders, whether it's Hobgoblins Hideaway, whether it's Redsters and whatnot and stuff. If we use them and they're good, we'll let you know. If we've used someone and they're rubbish, we'll also point you in that way to not use them, or use them at your own risk, and we'll just give you our experiences and what we've experienced from that. But Slab Crusaders, the communication is great, whether it's the step-by-step he gives you from when the comics have been sent off to CGC, when they're coming back, and also through like the delivery period and stuff like that. It's just flawless at the moment. And I think like it's, as long as it continues, I think it will keep up. And I think a lot of people in the chat and us 3 guys here, I'm enjoying using them at the moment, and I don't think that's going to change. It's just so easy to get a 9.8 grade. It just takes the hassle out of it. And
I can only see it getting better. I can only see the website developing more, making it a little bit easier. But with that in mind, what we're planning on doing each week is choosing what we think are the top picks from our perspective for FOC. And so myself, Tom, and Charlie have picked 3 each. And what I've done, just to make it a little bit easier for everybody, is we'll just put a little QR code there. So if you're watching this in the rewind, or you're watching it on your TV, grab your phone, put your camera on the QR code, and it will take you straight to order that book through Slab Crusaders. So can't make it any easier for you guys. So Charlie, I think the first 3 are your picks. You want to run through them?
Yeah, so I've gone for Grimm. So I've been reading this. So I kind of jumped on issue number 1, and this was one of the first comics that I think early last year sent off to CGC, and with it being a foil, I was like, oh, I'm going to come back with Newton rings, because I think if anyone that knows me, especially you two do, I've had a lot of comics come back that I've CGC'd, and they've had Newton rings, whether I've sent it through myself or I've sent it through other people. It's come back with CG, like Newton rings. So when I sent off this foil of issue number 1, I was a bit dubious, but it come back and I continued reading the comic, and it's really enjoyable. Like, I'm really, really enjoying this. Like, this is one that I do look forward to reading every single week. I think it's going up to like 15 or 16 issues, but obviously I've gone for Grimm issue number 11, written by Stephanie Phillips, and the art and cover art by Flaviana.
Nice. Yeah, I do remember us reviewing issue number 1. I did enjoy it. So yeah.
I think we reviewed the first 3, didn't we?
Yeah, I think
first few. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
And then I've gone for, of course, Captain Marvel. What if Minnie Mouse was Captain Marvel? This looks.
Are you on the bandwagon for these, Charlie? Are you on the bandwagon for all these?
Charlie's just had a heart attack.
No, I was reading it, but then I got confused. It says Amazing Spider-Man 29.
Yeah, because and that's the thing with these books.
Yeah,
each of the actual characters in the front don't relate in any way, shape, or form to the actual comic it's in, and that's been the same for the last 2 or 3. So yeah.
So I've picked up all of these. I picked up the 3 of each issue for my boys. So obviously 3 of them, they'll have one of them each. I'm not going to get them to CGC. I'm going to use in these slabs that you put the comics in, and you can buy them for like £11 and stuff, because they wouldn't know the difference between a CGC and just having like a nice comic in a perspex sleeve and stuff. So, but I've gone for this. They look great. Like, they really do look great, and I think they're very interesting, and they're quite sought after, to be honest. Like, a lot of people are going for this, whether you're a Disney fan, a Marvel fan, or a comic fan.
I think there will be eventually. However, there's just so many of them printed that these are never going to, like, you're always going to be able to find one. But I think the Disney heads, they'll love these. They'll lap them up. And I don't know how many people who are into it, Disneyana, is that what they call it, Disney? Will read comic books. So it might be like 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, if you've got a stack of these, that you'll maybe be able to flip them.
But I can see this looking great. So that's the one I went for. And then Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker issue number 3, written by Katana Collins, Clay McCormack, and art by Merca and Dolfo. And the cover art is by the one and only Sean Murphy. This is just the Batman White Knight series is just, for me, one of the best Batman stories and arcs of stories and portrayals of Batman ever written. And to have Katana Collins back on a Batman story, I think it was very, very long overdue. I think she smashed it out of the park with a Harley Quinn. So to have her back on this, issue number 1 was amazing. Issue number 2, I'm very much looking forward to. So this was a no-brainer for me. And it's Harley Quinn.
I have this on my subs list, but I've not read issue 1, 2, or 3. So I think it's a 6-issue run. Once the 6 issues are with me, because I've got all the White Knight Presents stuff. Again, I'm like you. I think it's some of the best Batman stuff. The whole Murphyverse is superb. Yeah.
So that's what I did for it. And again, obviously, if you just scan the barcode, hopefully it will take you to that. It doesn't take you to Andy's OnlyFans. I don't know if this is
my secret
a ploy to get you there. But they're my 3. And then up next, Tom.
Yeah, so I've gone for Night Terror's Ravagers, issue 1, the Dustin Ngu cover, because I just think these are amazing. He's done a full series of these. This is just my favorite one of the whole lot. So pretty much, I think DC are coming up with these Night Terror books. There's quite a few of them, and each one has got a Dustin Ngu cover, which is totally worth getting just for the stunningness of it. Pure cover buy, because I don't know whether or not the story is going to be any good. I mean, Ed Brisson is a good writer, but DC don't seem to be doing very good stuff unless it's like the Sean Murphy stuff, to be fair.
If I was just going to say, Tom, if there's any book that you want to try to get 9.8 to go through Slab Crusaders, it's this one, because I think this would be a horrific book to try and get a 9.8.
Anything black.
Black cover. Yeah,
anything black. I mean, I'm really surprised. I've got a Venom black cover with a bit of a sketch on it from Donny Cates. I'm really surprised that's a 9.8, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a superb.
Yeah, it's a cool cover.
Very nice.
And then I've obviously gone for TMNT versus Street Fighter issue 2. But I kind of like this one. I picked it up and kind of, again, pure cover buy, because I haven't read the story yet, so I don't know how good it is. But pure cover buy, just because I like the whole idea of them arm wrestling, and I think what's really nice is the health bar at the bottom. So it almost looks like it's a video game, which I really like. So that's why I picked this one, and I think this would look really cool slabbed.
Yeah,
it's like a really nice piece of artwork.
Yeah, no, I like this. Again, there's so many covers coming out for it. Like, it's hard to pick one. It is hard to pick one, and I think they're all going to be like, especially for the gamers, like the retro gamers and everything, like myself. I want to get all of them, but I'm not gonna bloody go out and spend 500 just to get that cover.
No,
I wait for the trade for that one.
And then I went for the Disney Villains Maleficent issue 3. I think this cover is absolutely stunning. I love Jay Lee's work. I've got some of his like old Marvel stuff, and I've got it framed, so it's pretty cool stuff. So I picked this one because I think he's really captured the villain style of Maleficent. So again, pure cover
Disney look, isn't it? So it's gonna have the feel about it as well.
But it's got that Disney look, but then a bit of the whole like grit, as if it was the kind of what's it called, Grim Fairy Tale style.
Yeah. I was disappointed that J. Scott Campbell wasn't doing a cover for issue number 3.
Just about to say
a cover for issue 1 and 2. So I was disappointed with that. I was like, okay, well, that's only 2 issues I'm going to get this. There's a metal cover to this as well. Now, obviously, this
1 in 100.
A 1 in 100, so you can get there's a metal cover you can get of this as well. I don't know if you can get it through Slab Crusaders, but the QR code will take you straight through to this is the cover for that. Cool.
And Andy, you did yours, didn't you, mate?
I did indeed. My first pick was Sirens of the City issue 1. This is through Boom Studios. This is written by Joanne Starer, art by Carrie Randolph, and cover art. The issue that I've picked is obviously by the one and only Jenny Frison. This is story-wise, I've heard that this is going to be absolutely fantastic. You can there's a 1 in 10 of this cover as well, which is a grayscale cover. And I've no doubt there'll probably be like a 1 in 100 as well for it.
I don't think the grayscale one's that nice, to be honest. I think the color one's much better.
I definitely think so. I think for this particular cover, I think it really pops. I think Jenny done a similar thing for Something's Killing the Children.
Yes.
With Erica Slaughter, and she done the grayscale.
Yeah.
And that really popped. But I think this is the one to go for. So that's Sirens of the City, issue number 1. I went for a cheeky little bit of Star Wars Bounty Hunters.
Of course.
I almost went for this one. This is the homage cover, isn't it, to his original appearance?
Correct. This is a homage to the Return of the Jedi covers, I believe. So this is Jerry Ordway that's doing the cover art for this, and there's 4 different covers you can get, and they're like connecting. So I think there's 2 out this FOC. There's one for Bounty Hunters, and there's also one for Darth Vader. And there's been 2 previous ones that have come out. So if you're at all interested in this, make sure that you pick it up. And you might even contact James at Slab Crusaders just to see if he's got, or if he's able to get you copies of the other 2 issues that were out last FOC. But I'm already subbed up to all the Star Wars runs, but I actually made a point of picking up these covers because I think they'll pop whenever you put them together as a connecting set. Last, I believe, is Swan Songs, issue number 1. This is a new title from Image Comics, and this is from W. Maxwell Prince, who we know well from previous books that we've read, and Martin Simmons has teamed up with them as well. So I had to pick this one. This is rather the last one was a cover buy. This is pure story buy for me, just to see what it's like, just to see if it's one of those ones that sort of kicks off and becomes a popular title. It's more than likely going to be one that I'll maybe put forward for us to read and review for one of the shows. So
it looks right up your street.
Does it look scary and all that sort of stuff? A good old indie one.
Doesn't look like it would be a kid's book.
No, you know me too well. But yeah, if you want to get on this, get on it now. Get on it early. Get on it in FOC. That's what I would highly suggest before it sells out.
And I just want to say is that obviously we've only picked 9 of our choices. Obviously FOC, you've got more from Marvel, you've got more from DC, indie picks and stuff like that. But I guess once you scan this, it will take you to that page. You can kind of follow the process. But then once you're on Slab Crusaders website, feel free to have a look around, have a look at the FOC, because there's a lot more and you can see what different options and stuff like that. Again, the cut-off point to do this through Slab Crusaders is 9 o'clock Saturday night. So make sure you get on there before that time so you don't miss out on the potential comic that you want in the various ways that you can kind of pick it up and get it. I think that's about it. For
The other thing,
FOC.
just to note on when you're ordering for FOC, if there's a comic book that isn't one of the popular ones, like in the Image or DC or Marvel, make sure you order it, because if you don't, it's not guaranteed that he will order a couple of those that then he'll have one spare. So if there's something like an indie book, like a Mad Cave comic that you really want, just make sure you order it if you really want it.
100%. I've just dropped a link, guys, to that will take it to all the FOC for this weekend. If anybody wants to have a look and see what we didn't pick.
Perfect. So that was a nice new fresh section, but we've also got something else as well. So,
fresh and clean.
Fresh. Boom. So, as we said, we got some old stuff, we got some current stuff, we got some fresh stuff, we got some new stuff. Every single week, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It might be a character showcase, it might be a creator showcase, it might be something that piques our interest, but it's going to be a showcase on a character or a creator. First up, it was obviously a no-brainer for me. It's a new section, so I pulled rank and went, right, as this is a new section, we're going to do a character showcase and we're going to do it on Harley Quinn. That's all right, isn't it, boys?
Yeah.
I guess so.
So obviously we're going to do a few slides and an overlook on the clown princess of crime herself.
Has she ever actually officially been titled that? Because I know it's rumored, but as in the comics, has she ever actually been titled the Clown Princess of Crime? I
think if I'm wrong, in the new TV series that launched on Channel 4, I think it was last year, it was where Kayla Cucho was doing her voice and stuff like that. When she does come first on to the first appearance of that show, when she comes on, she's attacking people on the roof with Batman. She does say she's partnering with Joker. I swear, correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone's seen it. She does say, "I'm the Clown Princess of Crime."
Guys, I'm particularly looking forward to this showcase because I actually know very little about Harley Quinn.
Sit back, strap in, and get ready.
Educate me, guys. Educate me.
Right, so we're going to take it away. So obviously, Harley Quinn was a psychiatrist that was working in Arkham Asylum, and she was head and shoulders above the rest. She was fantastic. She was everyone wanted her. She was doing really good things and stuff. But her real name is Harleen Frances Quinzel, and she was created by Paul Dini, who's the writer, and Bruce Timm, who is the artist. Now, obviously, over the years, she's had some fantastic reincarnations of herself, whether it's been on a TV show, whether it's been in a comic, whether it's been in graphic novels, whether it's been on podcasts. So many people, I think, know who Harley Quinn is, or they've had experiences reading Harley Quinn, or they've played a computer game with Harley Quinn and stuff like that. This, for me, is that I'm excited. While I was excited about the show coming back, but I'm even more excited that we get to take a deep dive into one of my favorite comics characters of all time. So,
on the subject, go on, sorry.
Do you have a favorite iteration of Harley Quinn? It's got to be this one. I think the one on the screen now is for me, my favorite is, if I'm being honest, Amanda Connor does a fantastic Harley Quinn. Amanda Connor, the interpretation of her that she's done. I think in early years, it was them that kind of got me into Harley Quinn and stuff. And obviously, Margot Robbie in the movies is untouchable. But yeah, I've got to say this one. I quite. But then Harleen Quinzel dressed as a secretary, long blonde hair, glasses. But that's a different show entirely. What about you guys?
Well, let me ask you guys a question rather than talk like, because we're going to get to her iterations in a second. So, Charlie, what was your first time, or like, when were you first introduced to Harleen Francis Quinzel? Like, was it the TV show? Was it a comic book? Like, explain it to us. Like, tell us your origins with Harleen Quinzel.
So for Harley Quinn, it would have been Batman Adventures number 12. I think when that first came out, I was only young and I was massively into my comics anyway. But then the covers came out, which unfortunately I can't own, right? And that is my grail. But I've got the dollar comic one. But when this came out, I was interested because one, I was like, it's a Batman comic and the Batman's been crossed out. It's girls. Is this going to be a different story and stuff? There we go.
No way.
Look at that. See, look, you basically just flipped the bird to me, Tom.
That's a great giveaway for the first show back.
Let me know how to enter.
Charlie's $1 one.
Yeah, go for it. But I think it was kind of new because no one had ever seen that character before. It had always been Batman Joker, Batman Robin, Batman Poison Ivy, Batman Catwoman, and then we was introduced to this bombshell of Harley Quinn dressed up as a Joker, dressed up as a jester and stuff. And it was kind of like, well, this is new on the scene. This is a new character. So I think, yeah, from that, it kind of just piqued my interest because I was like, hold on, she's being portrayed as the Joker's girlfriend. Is she always just going to be in the back? Is she always going to come forward? Is she going to be a superhero? Is she going to be an anti-villain and stuff like that? So I think she's got such a great backstory and such a great back history to learn about. And because over the years, as we'll get into, not only has she been a supervillain, but she's also not afraid of being one of the good guys. And I think overall, from the start of that, when I kind of got into it, I found her intriguing because even though she was with the Joker and she was on the wrong side of the law, you could always sense, or me as a reader, I could always sense that she wanted to do something better because she started off as Harleen Quinzel, as a psychiatrist, wanting to do good, wanting to help the people of Arkham. And then it only took that one thing when she fell in love with the Joker, and then during the earthquake, she escaped as Harley Quinn. And that was the life as we knew it. That was it. But I think always from then, she was probably forced into doing that. And she's always been on the wrong side of the track, trying to get back, doing good and stuff. And over the years where she's been portrayed in Batman comics, TV shows and stuff like that, I think we get a snippet and we kind of get a feeling that she knows that she's good. It's just, does she enjoy being bad too much?
I hope what was the first time, Tom, you had been introduced to Harley?
So mine would be the animated show, because I never really got comic books much when I was a kid. I kind of watched a lot of TV. 80s cartoons were all my kind of thing, 90s cartoons. So I was introduced to Harley Quinn when she made her first appearance on the TV show, where actually she was just a cameo appearance to start with. But we'll get into that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. What about you, Andy? When was your first introduction to Harley Francis Quinzel?
Do you know, whenever that question came up, I was thinking about it there, and I think it was do you remember the cover that Alex Ross did with Tangle with Evil?
The Joker,
which we're going to get into again in a bit.
I have it somewhere. I should have done a bit of a show and tell, but back in the day, Todd McFarlane and Alex Ross were my go-to creators. There we go, fantastic! Look, there's 3 guns on that screen right now. So that would be my first introduction from a pure cover by, and also Bruce Timm's Mad Love as well.
Yes, we'll get into that as well.
Indeed.
So obviously, I mentioned like we've all got some fantastic stories of how we've become to know her and stuff, and got involved and everything like that. But I didn't realise that over the years, how many different characters and how many different people and how many different times she's been portrayed. Going back all the way to 1992 through to 94, even though they looked the same, there was different voice characters. They were modelled differently. 2002 to 2003, they're all different. There was different actresses voicing her on the TV shows and different ways that she was portrayed and stuff. Going through to 2004, she looks totally different. She's gone to like the real court jester stuff with the massive headset and stuff. Then you've got the Lego, you've got Arkham Asylum, Batman, Arkham Knight, 2010. 2011 is obviously the Suicide Squad, Arkham, Batman, Arkham Knight, I think, where she's portrayed there. 2011, again, she's reincarnated in 2013 as Lego. 2014 was a Batman Robin cartoon, DC cartoon that was released on DVD. 2016 was the DC Little Heroes, I think it was, or the Supergirls or something. And then 2016, there was obviously Margot Robbie stepped into the fold. 2017, again, another Lego in 2017. But I mean, as you can see, over the years, there's been so many people.
So many. That's crazy. Like, whenever you see them all sort of laid out there, that's...
But that's all the TV shows and animation versions of Harley. She actually hasn't had that many reiterations in the comic books.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, she stayed in the same outfit up until the New 52, which I think we should discuss that costume change.
But I mean, out of these, who would you say? I mean, for me, recently, I think obviously we've got Lady Gaga, who's going to be Harley Quinn in the new Joker. We've got Margot Robbie, who's played a fantastic Harley Quinn. But then going years and years back, we've had, I mean, even Kaylee Cuoco, when she was just voicing Harley Quinn. I can't watch a TV show now without thinking of Harley Quinn being voiced by Kaylee Cuoco. And I think the way that they've done the crossover from that directly into the comics as of late is very well done, like a love interest with Poison Ivy and stuff like that. And I think it's been great. But for me, I just think she's got so much personality as a character that whether she's a villain or a superhero, you can't help but love her, if that's the right word.
No, I would definitely agree with that. I think it's that sort of cheeky in between. It's like you're either going to be one or the other, and it's that sort of Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like, you don't know which version you're going to get, but you know deep down. And I think we all sort of want to find the good in people. Is like deep down we hope that there's a little bit of good. I'd say looking at all those iterations, that my favourite would probably be split between two, sort of 2016, 2017, the sort of animated versions. That's the Harley Quinn that I would remember.
You see, I the original Arlene Sorkin, mate, the like right at the back, that's my Harley Quinn, like the most original. I mean, I just love the original Jester outfit.
Because
to be fair, I've not seen half of any of these anyway, so I can't really judge.
Yeah. That's what obviously Paul Dini and Bruce Timm based her on, because obviously Arlene Sorkin was playing in a TV show, and they kind of thought the way that she was talking and the way that she was acting, she would be perfect for Harley Quinn. Fun
fact: so there is a scene in Days of Our Lives where Arlene Sorkin's character has a dream, and she ends up as a Harley Quinn. And if you didn't know, Harley Quinn is a French word for a jester, basically, in the medieval times. So Arlene Sorkin plays that character in Days of Our Lives, which inspired the character. And then because of that, they then approached Arlene Sorkin to do the voice of Harley Quinn for the Batman animated TV series. Boom, there you go. Fact find.
Yes. And it is, I did feature it in the, it was featured in the intro. So feel free to have a look at that and let us know in the chat below if you noticed it and if you thought it was a good match to how Harley Quinn is these days. Now, obviously, we're going to get into some of these books. Now, Andy, you've done a fantastic job putting this together, even though you didn't know much about Harley Quinn. You've done a stellar job, mate. You've come up with slides. I've come up with some information, and Tom's been absolutely bossing it with the old school facts about Arlene Sorkin.
Actually, this is my slide.
Oh, is it? Sorry.
I was just going to say, teamwork makes the dream work. This is one of Tom's slides. I think when it came to Harley Quinn, I think the input that I could have was with regards to the comics, and specifically looking at sort of those key issues. I remember back in the day, Tom, we had the Killer Keys section. This is all like an iteration of the Killer Keys.
Bit of a throwback.
Characters. absolutely throwback. So, this was one of your one, Tom, I think.
Yeah, so basically the first ever appearance or first time we ever were introduced to Harley Quinn was on the episode 22 in September the 1st, 1992, and the animated TV series of Batman Series 1, Joker's Favor. And she actually only makes a very slight cameo appearance in the first like 10, 15 seconds. And then you think she's not going to appear again. And then she has quite a big bit at the end. But that's where she makes her first appearance. And another fun fact, they didn't know whether or not they were going to continue with it. They didn't know whether or not she was going to be continued as a character. So she actually didn't reappear for another 5 or 6 episodes. And then she became quite a big part of the series. And then obviously became part of the comic books and all that. But we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, her first ever appearance.
Do you think that was due to the fact that obviously, because in this, when she come on screen, it was totally unexpected. Like you kind of weren't expecting it. And I think they must have got some good feedback for that and it was pretty smart how they did it as well, because obviously she had the little cameo and then the bit at the end, but then to leave it so long before she featured again, I guess it left the viewers wanting more, whether they was going to get to see her again.
So I did a little bit of digging and some kind of fun fact finding and stuff, but I kind of looked into stuff about it. And basically what it seems to have happened is that at this point, Batman's already had Catwoman in the scene. And you've had Poison Ivy as a standalone character, but no kind of like the Joker didn't have a Robin to Joker. Yeah. Whereas Batman had got Robin and kind of got Catwoman. So it was that kind of thing of like the Joker is Batman's kind of counterpart. So having a sidekick for Joker only made sense. So when people saw kind of Harley Quinn, they just assumed that she was going to be his Robin / Catwoman. And then because she didn't appear for a couple of episodes, people were like, oh, what happened to this really sexy character in the black and red? Like, where's she gone? Like, what's going to happen? And then they reintroduced her later on.
She was only meant to be in one episode. Is that correct?
Yeah,
only meant to be in one episode. In this one, as a cameo,
just like a walk-on sort of type thing, and then everybody
literally just flash in the pan job. Not supposed to be a main character. So that's just the power of the fan base, if you like. She did one episode. And look at where she is now. I mean, this was in 1992. We're now in 2023, and she's one of the most prevalent characters in modern history for DC. And what people seem to forget is she hasn't been around as long as like Catwoman or Poison Ivy and Clayface. But you would put her in the same bracket as the Joker and Clayface and Penguin. Yeah. You'd think she'd been around as long as them, because that's how they've managed to, integrate her into the DC universe. I think it's very clever. She's an amazing character, to be fair. I'm glad that we've done this.
Yeah, great stuff. Then next we've got, hold on, what's going on here? There we go. This one.
Yeah, this is Comic Scene issue number 31 from October 1992. And this was a preview appearance of Harley Quinn about the Batman animated adventures. Apparently it predates Batman Adventures issue number 12. So I think there's a lot of discussion about where Harley Quinn's first appearance actually was, and whether you would call a previews magazine as a first appearance is debatable, and something that we won't debate here.
This is like Hulk 181, isn't it? Where is that Wolverine's first appearance, or is it?
Do you know? I think
this is more of a Spider-Man 2099, where he makes an appearance in a previews book and then makes appearance in his first appearance. And it's like it's a bit of a grey area.
Same with Miles Morales as well. Like he shows up in the previews. So everything could be in previews, could be considered a first appearance if you're that sort of way inclined. But I mean, if you're a collector of Harley Quinn comics, this would certainly be one that you would want. Just to say, look, I've got everything. I don't know how easy this one is to pick up, to be fair, but I didn't have a look in the old eBay, but I can't imagine it's cheap because it's out there. Everybody knows what this is.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Look at this.
This is the interesting one. So this is the Batman the Animated Series, Almost Gotham, from August 1993. So this was actually a sort of storybook. So this was a book that came with a cassette tape that you could listen to. And this is the first published appearance of Harley Quinn in a children's book called Almost Gotham. And this is a really sought after item. once it sort of came out and like key collector app and stuff like this, it just shot up in price. But before that, you could pick it up for next to nothing. Tom, you want to say?
This has caused so many arguments with the people on the internet, because people are saying it is the first appearance of Harley Quinn in a book. And people are like, yeah, a book, not a comic book.
Yeah,
it's like, well, okay, but a book's a book, mate. It's the first time she's been drawn on paper. So there's a debate there, to be fair.
That's the thing. I love that sort of debate. And, you know, if there's any doubt, just buy them all.
I mean, at the end of the day, there is only one big debate between Harley Quinn's first appearance. Well, we'll talk about it in a minute, but we'll cover it, but we won't get into it. Yeah.
Next up, and Tom very proudly showed this one off. So this is Batman Adventures issue.
I can show mine off. Don't forget.
And there is a facsimile as well that you can get. September 1993. So like this isn't by any stretch an old book, but very much a sought after book. This is the first appearance of Harley Quinn in a standard comic. And the keyword is a standard comic book. So if there's any debate there, this would be my go-to first appearance. I think this is the one that's going to hold its value. It's going to increase in value, and it's the one that you would like to have because it just looks the part.
It's the one I'm after.
That's the one that Charlie's after. So if anybody is selling a copy, just slip into Charlie's DMs. But Tom, how did you come about your copy, and what would you say the grade is?
So I wouldn't like to take a guess on my grade, to be perfectly honest, but I got mine nicely and lovely from my friend over at Hobgoblin's Hideaway. I got mine from Tim. So he was kind enough to look out for one for me, and then he bagged me one. It wasn't cheap, but again, it wasn't like it is now. I mean, I didn't pay hundreds and hundreds of pounds for it. So I'm very pleased with the one I've got.
How many years ago did you get it, Tom?
Let me see. When did I start Not Quite Mint? So 3 years ago, I'd say. About 3 years ago, I got mine. But it's rocketed in price. I mean, I would say mine's probably a fair to mint, I suppose. That's probably the best way to look at it. It's not nowhere near near mint condition. It's got a couple of dings on it, but it is beautiful. I probably would never get it graded because I wouldn't trust to send it off to get it graded to come back, and I'd be really annoyed if it was come back and it wasn't a decent grade, to be honest.
This would definitely be one that I'd want to get in my personal collection if I could.
So the argument about this one is the fact that this is a animated comic. It's not necessarily DC canon, and that is a good argument because DC canon is different. They're two different universes. So you got DC canon, which is obviously the Batman book we normally read, and Detective Comics and stuff. She didn't appear in DC canon till No Man's Land.
Yeah.
So this is DC animated, which is a standalone series, which has nothing to do with the main story. However, in my opinion, and I'm sure I'll get rinsed for this, and people will probably argue with me, I think this is her first appearance because she actually first appeared in the TV show. This is a reiteration of the TV show. Therefore, this is her first appearance.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree that her first appearance in canon is in No Man's Land, but that's canon. That's like, proper comics. This is her first appearance ever in a comic book.
If you was to say to anyone, when was Harley Quinn's first appearance? I would guarantee 95% of people would say Batman Adventures number 12.
Exactly.
Because I think
I agree.
in the comic book world, people are like, it's Batman Adventures number 12. Harley Quinn's first appearance is Batman Adventures number 12, which is why it was good doing this, because there's been so many interpretations of it, and there's been so many first appearance, cameos appearance. Was it a first appearance in a comic book or an actual novel? This, for me, is her first appearance in a comic book.
Agreed. And I was just going to say, what did the chat think? And anybody's watching on the rewind, please put it in the comments. What is your opinion of the
first appearance? Point out to the Immortal Bigger Shacks. Thanks for joining all the way from across the pond, sir. Unless you want a nice copy. The copy I am after, very specific, if it's going to happen, I want a newsstand version, and it has to be a 7.0 grade. That's what I'm after. 7 is my favourite number, and this is my favourite comic. So if I could get this at a 7.0 graded newsstand, I could die a happy man.
Does it have to be newsstand?
I'd prefer it to be, but it doesn't have to be. But okay. I mean, I would love that. That would be all my dreams come true.
I will keep my ear to the ground for you, my gorge.
Yeah, that would be wicked. But yeah, a newsstand is. I think it's just the newsstands just look better than the Pickett, Parbrook, and Burchett logo. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, nothing specific. Just that's what I want.
Yeah, not too specific. Not too picky. Next up, we have.
There we go.
Batman Adventures Mad Love hardcover from December 14th, 1993. Is this one yours, Tom?
It is, mate. So basically, she made her first appearance, and then they decided to write her backstory. So not a lot of people will know this, but there are only 2 comic books in the Batman animated world that came out first as comics and then were rewritten as TV episodes. This was the second one. The first one had to do with Poison Ivy, but this is the second one. So they released the book. It was straight to hardcover and graphic novel. It didn't actually come out in single issue. And this is Batman Adventures Mad Love. And this is the entire origin of Harley Quinn, how she became Harley Quinn, how she fell into love with the Joker. And I bet half of you don't know that she's got meta-human powers.
Yes, she has.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's got them from getting injections from Poison Ivy, which is all explained within this book. And then this
superhuman strength and everything like that. Yeah,
agility, all that kind of stuff. So that came out back in December 14th, 1993, and then the following month, it was then aired as an episode on the TV show, which was episode 24 of season 3, I think, and that was in 1999.
Yeah,
and what amazing.
Spitting the facts, Tom, here, that you're absolutely on fire.
Mate, I've done my research.
Those 3 weeks off have done the wonders, honestly. It's fantastic.
That's what I mean. Like, give me a comic to read, I'll read it and I'll either enjoy it or not enjoy it. Give me a character to study, or give me something to study and I'll just go away and do the bizzo.
Do the deep dive, This for me is my introduction to Harley Quinn. This is Batman Harley Quinn issue number 1 from August 1999. And this is the first appearance of Harley Quinn in the main DC comic book storytelling universe. The absolutely fantastic cover by Alex Ross.
Not a lot of people know that, right? But that's him and his wife.
Yes, because whenever he takes photos of himself. I did know that.
Not a lot of people know that.
No, and this is a fairly, like, somebody in the chat will tell me that I'm wrong here, but I believe this is a fairly difficult book to get in a 9.8 just because of that black cover. But it's also square bound as well.
I think.
So square bound, obviously, you start opening that bad boy up, and you're going to get spine ticks everywhere.
Mine's 9.4. I do apologize.
Yeah, but even that, Tom, is a decent grade for how hard it is to get a 9.8 in that grade. Like, the majority of that is black. Now, without even trying, you potentially going to get finger marks over it and stuff like that. The fact is that you got that in a 9.4. That's still a near mint. Do you know what I mean? That's and the thing about, like, as we've gone through, like, I think we've got 1 or 2 slides left after this. But even though I know she's in his comics, I'm adoring the character a lot more. Yeah, because she's a timeless character. No matter if she's showing up in canon or she's showing up in her own books, she's such a great character to work with. Now, obviously, you've got Poison Ivy. I think she's on issue number 12 at the moment. Harley Quinn's just made an appearance in that, and I'm drawn to reading that comic again, even though I've been reading it all the way up to the issues. I'm engaged in that issue even more because Harley Quinn's come back. She's been missing from the setup from that story for quite a while. So it's interesting to find out how the dynamic of their relationships work and stuff, because there was always that umming and ahhing. Is she going to get with Poison Ivy? Is she not? Is she going to get with Batman? Is she not? Is she over Joker and stuff like that? And I think she's just, honestly, such an elaborate, well thought out character that Paul Dini and Bruce Timm, they must have known that they was onto a winner from day dot. I don't know whether they knew it would be as amazing as it has, as it's snowballed as it has, but she's one of the most iconic comic book characters from DC ever.
I think she's one of the most iconic characters of DC. For one of the biggest reasons is her outfit didn't change for quite a long time. And that outfit in itself is timeless. And I think what they've done with that outfit, the fact that she's like, it's very difficult to in our modern age to make a character sexy and appealing and stuff just in with like one outfit. They usually, like with DC, it's got to be cleavage, there's got to be massive breasts, it's got to be all extravagant, whereas like with Harley Quinn they kept her kind of the same for all that time, which is why it makes it timeless, because she's not changed that much. The new 52 I think did ruin Harley slightly. I think they overplayed their hand slightly with the new 52. They could have done it so much better. And I'm glad that they've switched back, if you like. I'm not sure I like roller skate Harley. I mean, I'm not sure if I like that iteration of Harley, but I do like this new version of her that now she's a good guy.
Yeah.
And she's kind of left the Joker in the past, if you like. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
And obviously,
then
last,
this one.
This is one of my favorites. I love Terry Dodson. I'm trying to collect the full run of this. I think I'm about 3 or 4 issues away. This is Harley Quinn issue number 1. Once again, December 2000. And this is the premiere issue of the first Harley Quinn ongoing series. And this is a fantastic read as well. I love this, guys. Have you read this?
No, I haven't, mate. But I was going to say, like, we'll get. I'll say it in a minute. You carry on.
No, that was it. I was just wondering if you read this book.
Oh no,
I've read it. I've read it, and I think this is again what piqued my interest to it, because Terry Dodson, the way that he does it, the way that he draws Harley Quinn, it's really weird. She's so seductive, but it's really dark and sketchy, and it kind of. I just think there's certain artists out there that do Harley Quinn and other characters really good justice. I think Terry Dodson, for this issue alone, if you hadn't read Harley Quinn before, this would have got you into it, because I think there's so much in this story that's so enjoyable that I can't not think of Harley Quinn and not think about reading this comic.
And his wife Rachel does the color work for all the stuff as well. So, and the logo for this, like the trade dress on this, is what, when I think of Harley Quinn, that's what I see. Because I love this run so much. So, for any Harley Quinn fans out there, or anybody that's jumping on board and thinking, you know what, I quite like the character, this is hopefully going to give you some inspiration of some of the books to actually pick up. There's lots and lots more with Harley Quinn in it, but these are probably, would it be fair to say, guys, these are probably the standout books that you would want to pick up?
Yeah, definitely. This one, I'd say definitely read this iteration of Harley. I'd read Sean Murphy's version of Harley, because he does a really good job of taking Harley from old school Harley and then kind of still keeping that kind of that decency that she had, and then changing her outfit to accommodate for her being an older lady, if you get my drift. And she like starts wearing the overcoat. She looks a little. She's still got the hair, still got the outfit, but she's got an overcoat rather than the jester bit and the collar, which it then goes on. And then I would say, if you haven't read No Man's Land as a Batman series, and Hush, they're 2 of the best written Batman books ever. You have to wait quite a while for Harley to turn up in No Man's Land, but it's totally worth it. Those are some of the best Harley stories, in my opinion, Hush and No Man's Land.
There was one book that I didn't actually put on this list, and I'm surprised nobody actually picked up on it. Harleen, the 3 issue.
Oh yeah, Harleen's a good,
Yes. From Stefan Sejic. It's fantastic. I've actually got that hardback book, and I've got the acetate version where she's Harleen and you take it off and she's got Harley Quinn and it's all blood dripping down her. That for me is one of the best books that's really,
a DC Black Label, isn't it? That one.
It's amazing, and it really does grasp the concept of how she subtly changed and how the Joker got into her head and got into her mindset and really made her think, is this what I want to do? It was fantastic. Now, obviously, based on Harley Quinn, I've got a few bits to show off from Harley Quinn as well. But what I do want to do is just say, over the last couple of weeks, we were sent these things. You would have seen them. I think Triple G had them as well. These are the new hero cards from Zavi. Now, we've been sent. Your 2 boxes are in the post because they sent them to me instead of to you. So your boxes are in the post. But
classic.
We have a box. 2 boxes to give away. Now, we're not just going to give these away. These boxes come with 24 packs. So what we're going to do, I've just decided this now, so you guys ain't really got a clue. I've just been sitting here. So what I want everyone to do, whether you're watching this show live or you're watching the rewind, everyone that comments on the show in the comment section below what their favourite Harley Quinn character is, or how they first come to find out about Harley Quinn, you will be entered into the vote for next week, and we will do raffles and then we'll give away. But these are 24 packs, so each winner will receive 4 packs. Unfortunately, due to shipping costs and the cost of living, it's only going to be for the UK. So any comment involving Harley Quinn in the comment section below will be entered into the roulette wheel of misfortune next week, and you will be a lucky winner of 4 packs.
I'd definitely
Well,
like to know everybody's first kind of
Yes.
first time they were introduced to Harley Quinn. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like their
And all
own
it-
origins.
It's just got to be like Harley Quinn when it was, not a whole
What's it
bloody
called?
essay.
Meet cute. I'd like to know
Yeah.
what people's meet cute is with Harley Quinn.
Yes. Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
And then obviously I've got some pickups involving Harley Quinn. So
Did somebody say pickups?
I've only got a few. So obviously I picked this up a few years
mine.
ago. This is awesome, right? This is this was a graphic novel, and it was written by Mariko Tamaki. And honestly, it was New York Times best-selling author. And it's a gorgeous little graphic novel that just tells the origins of Harley Quinn from when she had her college days to going up to be a psychiatrist in Arkham Asylum and being the clown princess of crime. So if you haven't picked that book up yet, pick it up. I think it was £16.99, or I think it was like £11.99. But that's a great little book to pick up. And then my first ever comic that I got CGC'd was this one. It was Harley Quinn at Batman Detectives, and this is the Ji Hyun Lee variant cover from the Golden Apples comics. This was the first ever comic I sent off. I sent it off via Place in Space. Didn't have a clue what it was going to come back with, and then unfortunately for me, it came back as a 9.8. So I was very, very close to buying that on eBay the other day in the black and white, and it was in a 9.8 as well.
Look, I'm just looking behind you, Charlie, and I'd never be able to tell that you were a Harley Quinn fan with all your.
Are you sure? Are you sure? There's only a few then, and there's like a Harley Quinn wall above me. And then
it's when his wife gets the outfit in the post. That's
Oi.
But if I can turn the camera over that way, she's just standing there for a baseball bat, her mallet as well in the top corner.
What, your wife?
No.
Yeah, ready to smack him.
Harley Quinn, your donut. But then
What's your
cat's
name? What's your cat's name?
My cat's name is Luna, but I'm just thinking about calling her Harley. Why not?
I thought one day you told me that her name was Harley, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
I always said if I was to have another girl, 100%, there's no chance it would be called anything other than Harley.
Well,
if you had another girl, I thought you had 3 boys.
Well, I even played with the idea of calling her Harleen Quinzel Powell.
Nice.
So it's in Powell, yeah, exactly. And my last pickups to the Harley edition is this. This is the Comic Mint Convention mint cover in metallic. Lovely.
Nice.
Love that. So that's my latest pickup. I've got a few. I think I've got about 2 or 3 coming from Slab Comics, but they're that's my first ever Harley Quinn pickup and my last Harley Quinn pickup, as it were. Has anyone else, Tom? I know you've shown us some absolute bangers.
I have got one pickup, but I do want to show you my favorite J. Scott Campbell cover that I have, which is a Harley Quinn one. If you could bear with me a second.
Yes.
Go on, Andy. While he's going. Oh, has he got it? Has he got it already?
Once Tom's finished with his, you guys buckle up for my pickups.
So I got it out of the collection earlier to show it off, but basically I got this a few years ago when I went to to New York Comic Con, which is the J. Scott Campbell, and I love it because it's got the signature straight across the middle, but it's a playing card, wicked. And I like it personally because I don't like the new 52 Harley, and I prefer the original, but I like the fact that J. Scott Campbell's done them both together, and it just shows the difference between the two and how Harley did need modernizing to a certain extent. I mean, this is cool, but this is more modern, isn't it? This is more like this kind of day and age, this millennium kind of thing, whereas this is more pre-millennium, if you like, which I quite like. And I love that you've got the Joker from the 2 eras too. So you've got this kind of new 52 Joker, and you've got the Joker from the animation down here, which is pretty cool. So that's my favorite J. Scott Campbell cover that he's done with Harley Quinn on.
Well, do you know what? Recently, and I can't remember I don't know what issue it is, but Jenny Frisson has done a playing card variant of Harley Quinn. I think it's for Harley Quinn 33 or 34, and it's going to be available in Slab Comics. But it's wicked. It's a playing card
Slab
version,
Slab Crusaders,
which I think it is a homage to the one you've just picked up. So,
is it?
Yeah, I think it looks very similar to it.
I might have to have a look at that. That sounds cool. And then the only pickup I have got is I got very kindly sent in the post a Usagi Yojimbo book from Comic Deal. He saw that I picked it as a cover pick a few months back, and he went out of his way and got me a spare one. So he got me the Inlook Hookley version of Usagi Yojimbo, and it's absolutely stunning. It's better in person than it is on the internet. I can promise you, if you can pick one up, it's absolutely stunning. He even sent me another freebie on the inside as well, which is pretty cool.
I have a funny story about that particular cover.
But
so,
yeah, I mean, he just sent it out of the kindness, like proper AOK job, sent it out of the kindness of his heart. And then he also did me a little Usagi Yojimbo drawing, which is absolutely amazing. James has come on leaps and bounds, man. He's just incredible. So if you want to see these properly, I will put them on my Instagram in the next couple of days because I'd like to show them off. But I wanted to show them off here first. So if James is watching, I'd just like to thank you very much for this. It's very nice to get in the post, and I massively appreciate it. It's not very often I get sent stuff, so massive thank you, mate. Cheers.
That's nice.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna lean over, put the seatbelt in, and buckle up. Andy's got Andy's been away for 3 weeks, so if you was planning on going to work tomorrow, anyone, just don't call a sickie because Andy's got his pickups.
See that book that you got from Comic Deal?
Yeah.
That was one of the ones that I got slapped. So he had another copy of that I got sent to CGC for him. So the day that I went to his house to pick it up, he sat it down on the settee in his living room, and didn't his wife not see it and sat on it? But it was the same book that he sent to CGC, and didn't it come back a 9.8? Came back a 9.8 after being sat on.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
If James is in the chat, he can confirm that that's 100% true. Okay, guys, it's been a while. I've missed the opportunity to show off my pickups. I'm going to show you. I'm going to start as I mean to go on with a Jock cover. But this is Firefly, the hardback edition of the Firefly comic, and this is a Barnes & Noble exclusive Jock cover that I got through Barnes & Noble, sent through to Stackery, and it thankfully arrived in one piece. And it just so happens that my wife likes Firefly as well, so that's her Christmas sorted. Nice. Staying on the Jock bandwagon, and also a little sneak peek as to what our next character showcase is going to be. I got Dread Final Judgment, CGC 9.8, signed by Jock, just there.
That's an awesome cover, man. And do you know what I like about that? It looks like the CGC is smashed.
It does. It looks so good. I couldn't pass this up. Saw it on eBay, and I went, "Yep, that's going to be mine." So that was that. A little bit. We're going to go a little bit boring, but thanks to Tom and his connections, I picked up some more of these. Now, guys, as I am, believe it or not, downsizing my collection, I'm trying to get to a point where the stuff that I have is the stuff that means something.
I love that joke. Downsizing.
Yeah, and I want to protect it a little bit better. So those BCW plastic boxes are absolutely superb. I highly recommend them to anyone. So I picked those up. Thanks to Tom for sorting that out for me. I got this on Redster's Whatnot show. I have the Virgin variant of this, a CGC slab. Yeah. So I picked this up, which is great. Love this.
It looks great though, doesn't it? It does look like, even as a raw, it looks great.
Presents really, really well.
And the film's fantastic, Pete. You don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly, would see no. I've been picking up quite a lot of books to flip, and I picked up some Pokemon books. I know nothing about Pokemon, but I picked these up. Now, whenever
Very
I picked
nice.
these up,
Like that.
whenever I picked these up, it was suggested that they were like new, I think is the term. Let's just say they weren't like new. They've got some severe spine ticks on the books, and one of the books had a rip in the back. So
was it one of them severe? Was it one of them severely used, but like no?
It was sat on and played football with. Was more like it.
Nice.
Another whatnot pickup. I got a little Jenny Frisson.
Is that Jenny Frisson? Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, love that. I don't know if you have this one, Tom. I picked up the 1 in 100 incoming. Lovely.
I think mine's CGC'd actually.
Absolutely superb. And it actually came with like one of those sort of plastic see-through backing boards.
Do you know what? They're really cool, those backing boards.
They're just so expensive, though.
Yeah, it's so
expensive.
Really
However,
expensive.
right, I probably shouldn't be saying this because you're taking money away from local comic shops who actually have those. But if you contact Perspex, as in the Perspex acrylic people, they will cut acrylic to size, and they price their acrylic sheets out at, like, say the sheet is like 1 meter by 1 meter. It's something ridiculous, like 100 quid. But if you cut that into comic book sizes, it works out about 15 pence per sheet per piece.
Tom, let's keep that as a business idea. Just
yes.
Oh shit! I really should have said it live.
Well, the whole world knows. Yeah, I'll cut it. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll cut that.
This is another J. Scott
It's
Campbell.
another J. Scott Campbell.
Indeed, and this was actually an AOK from Redstars. So thank you so much, Liam, for sending this to me. I would highly recommend that you go and check out Redstars Whatnot shows. There's some absolute great pickups and a really good guy as well. So thank you for that. I picked up the trade press of this.
Yes, I got the version of that bad boy.
The nice person who sold it to me sent me this for free.
Nice.
Yeah.
For free?
For free, which was absolutely.
So I'm going to sell you the trade dress, which is.
I'll send you the Virgin,
and I'm going to send you the really expensive one for free.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's nice to be nice, isn't it? This was something that I picked up for a really decent price.
That's cool. I love that cover.
Sell. So Masters of the Universe issue #1. It's in fairly good condition. I'd say it's probably fine minus this cover. And I've stuck it in a nice miler just so it looks a little bit nicer. But yeah, if anybody's on the lookout for this, let me know and I can do your deal. Obviously, jock cover. I think I showed this the last time.
Yeah.
But I got this. My friend Bruce was at MCM Comic Con, and this is a Forbidden Planet foil edition, and he was nice enough to get it signed as well for me.
I like the foil one. I don't like the other one.
It's really nice. It presents so much nicer the foil, I must admit.
One of my mates went to MCM and he was I think it was where he'd waited in the queue for so long to see Jock, and I think it was coming towards the end of the day. Jock took the time to like talk to him, and he kind of just drew him a Batman sketch. Now we know Jock quite well. Let's be honest, we've had him on the show, and we speak to him every time we're at Thought Bubble and stuff like that. And he doesn't really do that. He doesn't really have time to do sketches and stuff. Andy, me and yourself, like last year, we were lucky enough to get that done without even asking. But my friend that went to Thought Bubble, he said it was literally, he'd waited so long to see him. It was at last, like the end of the queue, and Jock, without even asking, just done a Batman sketch for him. And he said it made his whole Thought Bubble. It was just like, it was wicked. So
yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. Normally he's just so busy that he doesn't get a chance even to do little simple ones and stuff like that. So that's really cool to hear. I actually was lucky enough. It's my birthday on Saturday, and I picked up some original art prelim sketches from Jock's new website. So I'm really looking forward to getting that, and that'll definitely be in my pickups. I've only got 3 left, guys, so you'll be able to go to
3 boxes. 3 boxes left, guys.
Left.
Just
another J. Scott Campble book,
nice.
Black Widow. This was
that's one of those ones that doesn't quite look like it's a J. Scott Campbell one, but it is.
Yeah, like you can absolutely tell by the face. Oh, hold on, by the face. Just pure.
Yeah, you can now. Yeah.
But from a distance, you couldn't tell. I've got that one.
Limited to 4,000.
I was thinking of the same song now, Andy.
Another J. Scott Campbell one. So we've got Exterminators issue #1. And again, this is limited, I believe. I'm not too sure what it's limited to.
See, J. Scopes Campbell for me is again timeless. Like, he just does what he does well, and he hardly ever changes. And I think that's what works.
Last but not least, I got an AOK from my friend Bruce, who sorted out the MCM Jock cover for me. And this is rather special. So this is the hardback edition of the Witches graphic novel. Got it signed as well. And this was also included with it. So this is signed again by Jock and by Scott Snyder. So if you've not read Witches, I would highly recommend you get on it before it goes to, I think it's Amazon or something, or Netflix. It's going to come on.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely fantastic. And I believe near the end of this year, hopefully, there's going to be an update, another volume coming out of this. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But guys, that was all my pickups. It's been emotional.
Mate, that was wicked. That was awesome. We're now at that part of the show where, Tom, have you still got the YouTube open?
I do.
The power is with you tonight. If you want to close the vote and give us the totals, that would be
end poll.
There we go.
Big drum roll, please. So, in third place again is Charlie. Despite the 3 weeks off, unfortunately, Charlie has come back and is back where he started at number 3. And in second place, with a good 30%, was Andy. So well done, Andy. Which means I win! Yay! Bye, guys.
No,
congratulations,
honestly,
Tom.
Congratulations, Tom. And as well as this show's gone, and as much as I've loved being back, this is the last show of 2023.
No, it's
That's
not.
it. We're not doing it again.
It's been wicked. Like, do you know what? I didn't realise how much I'd actually missed this show every single Thursday at 9 o'clock without actually doing it. We've been speaking non-stop, and I think we've fucking nailed it, boys. I think it was a good show. I think it was a wicked show. Massive shout out to everyone in the chat that's joined us. Hope you've enjoyed it. Going forward, it's going to be a creator or a character spotlight, showcase, whatever you want to call it. We will go deep diving into a character of our choices. As Andy mentioned, next week it is going to be Judge Dredd. So that's going to be interesting. So yes, looking forward to that. Looking forward to jumping into that. Looking forward to seeing what comic we're going to be reviewing and if I'm going to come third in the Killer Comic vote. Just want to give a massive shout out to you guys, because you've been at this journey of the Killer Comic Show from day one, and it's been a fucking good journey, and I've enjoyed doing this show, and you've made my Thursdays very enjoyable. And the most important thing I've made out of this is a friendship that I'm going to have for life. So massive shout out to you for that. Thank you very much. I fucking hate. I hate.
You're crying. I'm not crying.
I hate both of you because I still ain't want a comic of the week thing. But I'm just reading off a script now, so yeah, I just want to put that out there.
I would 100% back up what you said there. I'm really interested to find out what the viewers think of some of the new segments that we've done. Is there anything that they would change? Is there anything that they really like? Is there any characters and any showcases that they would like us to delve into? And I would also reiterate what Charlie said. We definitely needed the time off. We definitely needed that few weeks off. I think for our mental health, for our well-being, and just to sort of re-energize and reset. And I think it's fair to say that we've achieved that. And it's been really good to get back. And we hope that we can consistently, in some form or fashion, do the weekly show and keep the Killer Comics show going. But again, we say it all the time, it literally wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for the people who turn up week in and week out and get involved in the chat. So for that, I really do appreciate you. Tom?
I would agree with everything that both of you have said. I mean, there's not much extra I can ask or add to it, really, apart from we do really appreciate that you give up your Thursday nights to spend with us three morons as we talk about comics. But I couldn't spend a better evening with two really good mates that I have been on this amazing journey with, and are massively pleased to be here and still be here and still be invited to come back every week, which is pretty cool. So thank you all. And it is good to be back.
It is indeed.
And we ain't come to take part, we've come to take over. So we're gonna keep doing what we do best. And just another shout out to Hero and Zavi for sending these. Make sure you do. I know I've seen a lot of chats in seen a lot of comments in the chat. Make sure you do post on the video underneath this, so I can kind of calculate that and we can kind of get it into the Wheel of Misfortune and get some cards sent out next week.
I have two shout outs, guys, just before we go. Number one is Red Stars Comics is doing his Whatnot sale at just after 11, I think it's 11:15 on Whatnot tonight. So please go and check that out and give them some support. And also, remember our good friends at the Hobgoblins Hideaway. Make sure that you're going and supporting those guys. Those guys
They've been smashing it, killing it at the moment.
Absolutely killing it. MCM and everywhere else on their own website.
Portsmouth Comic Con and everything.
Portsmouth. So make sure that you're going, and they also had their own exclusive as well. And I think
make sure you support their exclusive. 100%.
One or two copies left. So please, guys, go and check them out on their Facebook group because we consider ourselves part of their Hobgoblin family. So
yeah, and I'd want to do one last shout out to Slab Crusaders because they are, we're doing the FOC. So yeah, make sure you go and check them out.
Please,
guys. Been emotional. We will see you same time next week, and it wouldn't be the end of the Killer Comic Show if we didn't say one thing. What is it, Tom?
Stay safe, stay sexy. See you.
Oh, that was good. It's not ending.